Welcome to this show. It's your African boy, Yao. If you have not yet subscribed, what are you doing? Please subscribe so we can join the conversation and we can talk about all things African and whatever else we want to talk about. Please leave your comments below. But you know what? I've got a very sad discussion this evening. The killings of our brothers and sisters with albinism in Malawi continues. Just this last week, a 26-year-old Malawian with albinism was abducted and murdered. His name is Said Faiton Daiton, and he was murdered in the Lakeshore district of Mangochi in the southern part of Malawi. They found this gentleman with his body parts missing, as has been the case with this type of murders. May his soul rest in peace. Currently, there are 3 suspects who have been arrested for this crime. One of them is said to be a close relative of Said, and this is not new with this type of killings. In the same week, another Malawian with albinism was rescued from certain death when these murders broke into his home at night. It's very sad. Then why do we hunt and kill our brothers and sisters with albinism? Unbelievably, some people on our continent sadly believe that they can kill them, sell their body parts, do whatever riches they do, and get rich or get rid of HIV/AIDS or something like that. It's very sad. I can't. It's sad to be hunted as a human being, as an African. It's really I just never know how to address this issue. These ritualistic killings are the latest blight on the African continent. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We have seen wars on our continent. We have seen a lot of senseless killing already as it is. But the continuing hunting and killing of our fellow Africans with albinism really eats into your soul. It just crushes your spirit. As some of us have grown up with relatives, uncles, aunties, and cousins with albinism among us. And back then, they were just family. They were just relatives. Yes, obviously, they were different, but that is where it ended. Amnesty International and the United Nations have spoken against this latest death. But as usual, no word from the African Union to put pressure on the Malawian government to stop these killings. I was disappointed because I did not hear a word from the minister, any of the ministers, or the president himself when he addressed the nation on the COVID-19. This is 2021. And this is still happening. For some reason, I can never talk about albino killings in Malawi or in Africa without thinking of a situation in 2016 when really albinos in Malawi were being killed at a frightening rate. The deadliest month still remains April 2016. And this particular death touched me. The story of baby Whitney Chilumpa. I don't want us to ever forget that name, Whitney Chilumpa. She was a 2-year-old baby toddler. She disappeared on the 3rd of April, only to find her scar tooth and the clothes that she was wearing in a nearby village. The sad part is the police are keeping her father for this murder and another man. So the person that brought her into this world and the one that is supposed to protect her turns out to be his part of this, and this is not unusual in these killings. I should mention one more story of 9-year-old Harimo Kishini. He was snatched at night time by a gang of people, broke into the house in the middle of the night. It literally snatched this boy, 9 years old, from mother. Her mother broke her arm trying to protect and fight these thugs, but she was no match for these armed thugs. Killed him and dismembered his body. His uncle is in prison and some other person as well. He's in prison for this murder. Amazingly, this man, the uncle, was out of prison for some reason. He was a known dealer of body parts, but he only got a slap on the wrist for his crime. He was fined $50 USA dollars prior to being involved in the murder of young Harry. So that is I don't understand. No one understands. So the government of Malawi must act. The Western rule of law cannot be applied here. The government has an obligation to protect its citizens. Tanzanian president in the neighboring country, John Magufuli, took decisive action just the African way and got rid of these people. And we haven't heard of these murders in Tanzania. What is the Malawian government doing still? Now, we love this continent and we are more vocal than ever about Pan-Africanism and the African Renaissance. The very concept of Pan-Africanism, though, is not to leave anyone behind. But that is not what is happening. With our fellow Africans, with albinism on the continent, we are leaving them behind. Just like the murders in South Africa or fellow Africans because of xenophobia and in other parts of Africa, we will not have a united Africa. We need to sort our own house before we take on the Europeans, before we take on China, the USA. I don't usually ask viewers to share my videos, but please do, because we need to all play our part in this story. We have to end this in order to move forward as a continent. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and tell me what you think. What can we do for these things to stop, for these murders, for these killings to stop once and for all? Thank you so much. Peace.